Come to order. Regular meeting of the Town of Florence Planning and Zoning Commission. Today's Thursday, November 19, 2015. It is 6 p.m. by the clock on the wall. And if anybody is interested, this is the Town Hall Council Chambers located at 775 North Main Street, Florence, Arizona. Mr. Olgin, would you take the roll?
Yes, sir. Chairman Pranza.
Present.
Vice Chair Patrick.
Present.
Commissioner Petty.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Would you all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Item 4, discussion, approval, disapproval of the minutes of the special meeting conducted on October 15th, 2015. Do we have any comments? No. Then I move that we approve the meetings. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. New business. Florence Heights and Western Sunrise Apartments, PZ 15-62DR. This is discussion, approval, disapproval of a design review application by Edo's Architects on behalf of the Florence Apartments Associates, LLC, for the Florence Heights and Western Sunrise Apartments located between Stewart Street and Florence Heights Drive. Both apartment sites are transversed by DeSoto Street. Mr. Olgin.
Good evening. Chair, Vice Chair, Commission. As mentioned, I will be giving the report, the design review application for the Florence Heights Western Sunrise Apartments. So to give you, just to kind of give you a location of where the property is at, you look on the map in front of you, on your screen, this is the location of the, there's actually two properties, two sites. There's the Florence Heights Apartments, and there's the Western Sunrise Apartments. I believe this one is on the north side, and this one would be on the south side off of Florence Heights. So this report is on two separate properties for the design review. And this shows you both sites together. Once again, it's you got Stewart Street to the north, you got Florence Heights to the south, and you have DeSoto Street that bisects both properties. So as you all may know, earlier this year, the Florence Apartment Associates LLC, they submitted a tax credit application trying to receive a grant, and the purpose of the grant is to rehab low-income properties or homes, including apartments. So on February 17th, 2015, the Town Council approved a resolution 1497-15 approving support to waive up to $80,000 in fees if they were to receive this grant. Luckily, they did, and so now they're back to us going to the design review portion. Now, just to be clear, there's 3 sites that the money would be applied to. It's over $3 million from what I understand. And there's another property not in front of you, not for review tonight. It's off of Butte and Willow. It's existing apartments. They're also going to be rehabbed and make them and bring them up to code. That went through its own separate design review application, but due to the size, it wasn't required to come in front of commission. But this one did because of its size. Now, this property, both properties equal 3.89 acres. The zoning on the side is neighborhood multifamily, which is R2. Now, as I mentioned before, in conjunction with this design review, we have the town core infill incentive plan. That would allow non-conforming issues to exist. These properties, both of them were built 30 years ago. So they are adequate, but they need to be brought up to code. And there's some ADA compliant issues that also are going to be focused on. So to keep this confusion down to a minimal, I'll break it down on both sides separately. This should be in your report. So the first site that we'll talk about is Western Sunrise Apartments. It's on the south side. This one has 26 two-bedroom, single-story apartment units. On the north side is the Florence Heights Apartments, and this contains 24 one-story, two-bedroom apartments units. Now, together they equal about 80 parking spots, and 5 of those are ADA compliant. So the majority of the work on these projects or on these units is to bring them up to code, to help also repair and replace HVAC plumbing systems, and some electrical and some lighting systems as well. This map here in front of you shows you the 2 sites and the APN numbers. Now, the majority of the work being done is on the inside, but the work that's being done on the outside, which would be applicable to the design review portion, they're going to add, as you can see on this map in front of you, this is the Florence Heights Apartments. They're going to add some new facilities, some new, I believe they're like outdoor courtyards for activities. They are going to keep the buildings looking the same as they are now. I believe they may plan to paint them, but majority of the work is taking the insides and making them into taking 2 existing 2-bedroom units and converting them into 3-bedroom unit apartments. And same with the other property. They're just going to make them better than what they are now and make a few of them ADA compliant. So as far as access goes, I've already mentioned that the vehicular access on this project is off of Stewart, and that's on the north side, and you have Florence Heights on the east side, and they're both have DeSoto going down the middle. And there's no additional parking that's going to be on the site, and what they have is it's not required, but it's what is existing. Now they have grading and drainage. They're going to there's not much change to that at all. It's not what they're doing isn't going to affect any more drainage on the site, so that's not going to change. And it's been reviewed by Public Works, and he concurs that there's no issues there. Landscaping, screening-wise, yes, they're going to bring some more plants to the site due to the speed of the application. They're going to bring the actual landscape plants to staff later on, and the staff will approve them. But as you can see from, I believe it's this image here, there's not a whole lot of plant landscaping that's required because they're not bringing in new structures. They're just rehabbing some existing ones. Signage, they are going to keep the same size. They're just going to change the name. The properties currently, all 3 of them are owned by different entities, but the one entity, which is the Florence, I believe it's Florence, right? But I'm talking about, it's the Florence Apartments Associates LLC. Yes. So that's going to be the current owner for all 3 properties. And they're in the process of doing that now. So if you looked it up, yes, it'd be in the 3 entities, but they're working on that. And as I mentioned before, this is a big, in order to make all the deadlines that are required and to be able to spend the $3 million plus, it's taken a lot of effort on staff side and on the applicant side to make this happen. So that covers the majority of the design review. I believe is it the owner or is the owner? Okay, the applicant is here tonight. If you have any questions for him, we did put together a list of conditions, which the applicant, which is also EDOS, they reviewed them. They had no issues with what they saw. So if you have any questions for staff, we'd be happy to answer them, or the applicant.
Do you have any questions?
I have a quick one. You say there's some wiring changes that are required?
I couldn't understand you, sir.
I have one question. You say there's some wiring changes that are required?
I believe they plan to do some electrical improvements, and I believe it's to accommodate the 30-year-old unit. So, yes, I think
This is not aluminum wiring, right? It's copper.
I don't have that. We don't have construction drawings in front of
Shaking
us.
his head, no.
It's not, he says.
Okay. That's all, thanks.
Could you come to the front?
That's all right, just identify yourself.
Sure. I'm Scott Nyblack, and I'm here with Cordis Development. So we're kind of the lead on this project right now. But just to clarify on the electrical, basically what that comes down to is two issues. One is making sure that the boxes are up to code, which currently I think we're going to have to redo all of the boxes to make sure those are to where they need to be for your codes. And secondly, just that for health and safety, there's GFIs in the kitchens and bathrooms. And again, it's more just of a code issue for safety, but those are what it kind of envelops for electrical. The only other thing I think that could fall into that realm is the additional lighting that we'll be providing. So we'd just like to have a little bit better lighting on the site.
Okay, that's external lighting?
Correct. There's external lighting. The internal lighting will also be replaced, and we're going to go with a high-efficiency lighting. But as far as the exterior of the building, yes.
Okay.
Street lights.
Thank you.
Very, very welcome.
You're good. Actually, just a quick question for Gilbert.
Yes, sir.
Sign, will they come back for approval on the sign, or are we approving the sign tonight?
The sign is part of the package, sir, so it's being approved tonight. And just to clarify, they're just basically rehabbing the signage they have now, because the sign is non-conforming. It's on the fence. That isn't allowed per the code anymore. So they've agreed to just keep it same size, same type of material, but just change the name. I believe also the owner information on there, and that's it.
Okay.
But the town infill incentive would allow this non-conforming issue to move forward on this design review.
All right, and well, the only reason I call is for some reason signage seems to be a scab to pick at. So. Okay. Are there any further questions or comments? And can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the design review for the Florence Heights and Western Sunrise Apartments, case PZC at PZ15-62DR.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion by Commissioner Petty, seconded by Commissioner Petrick, to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on. County Courthouse Expansion Design Review, PZ 1564DR. This is a discussion, approval, disapproval of a design review application by DLR Group on behalf of Pinell County for the proposed Pinell County Superior Court House expansion located at 971 Jason Lopez Circle. Mr. Olgin.
Chair, Vice Chair, Commission, I will be conducting this presentation as well. So just to kind of orient you as to where this is at, this image here shows you the location of the court, or the subject site, which is the Superior Courthouse. It's off of 971 Jason Lopez Circle. And to keep the confusion down to a minimal, the red is the 40,000 square foot plus expansion that we're talking about. And we looked at all the blue areas when we considered parking. Keep in mind, this property is existing, so the focus tonight is not the entire site, but just the new 40,000 square foot expansion. Now, so working on this case, I was able to find out some interesting information on this that I wasn't aware of, so I will share. It's in the report as well. This project, the original project, was completed May 2004. And the original design was to be able to expand to the east and the west as they needed more space. So since the completion, as we all are aware, and this area keeps getting bigger, obviously the court cases and that type of work just keeps getting more intense. So now they're back to us today to expand this site with a 4-story expansion. So the site in question tonight is 4.8 acres. The zoning on the site is light industrial zoning district. The building area is going to total 40,297 square feet. Building height won't exceed 60 feet. Here's another this is a site plan to show you more of the site itself, but some of the items that we looked at with this project was parking and how to make sure that they had enough parking. Well, from working with the applicants, the site has adequate parking, 814 spaces if you only include what's in the blue. 22 of those are going to be ADA accessible parking stalls, and they're already in place. The access to the site, as you may already know, contains 2 primary vehicular access points for ingress and egress for the public and emergency services. And both 79, the State Route 79 and Jason Lopez Circle provide this entry to the site. This parking spot here is mostly for the employees and for the judges that work at the site. So when the emergency access needs to come onto the site, they'll have the proper passes and to get through the gate that are there now. Some of the items that we did find that were kind of an issue at first was the fire lane. It's hard to see on this map here, but I can show you on this one here if you want to look at your screens. This is going to be the fire lane that's going to be in place for the new, for the 40,000 square foot expansion. And the applicant has agreed to remove some of these spaces here to make more room for the large fire trucks as they come in. So that is going to be an improvement to the site. Here's an elevation of the site itself. It's going to be, the 40-foot expansion is going to be built to look exactly like what's already there. So there won't be, as far as the elevation goes, there won't be much change. It's going to just exist and look like it's always been there. Here's another image of the portion that we're talking about tonight. Looks the same as what's already there. And here's another image. As far as grading and drainage goes, the site isn't going to experience very much change on that level. The town engineer has reviewed these plans, and he had some comments, but they were addressed by the applicant, so there will be very little changes. Matter of fact, back when this project was done back in 2004, they provided the majority of what was needed for retention, and also in addition to any additional sites that were going to be added to, or buildings that were going to be added to this. So drainage and the drainage won't be affected. As far as landscaping goes, they are going to provide some desert landscaping, pretty much what's already in place. Your report does give you some kind of the landscape plan to show you the new types of desert landscaping that's going to be provided. They are going to leave some existing boulders that are already in place, but just move them there more for protection of the building. They are going to add one additional front-loading trash receptacle to the refuge area to accommodate the 40,000 square feet. They are not going to add any new lighting except for what may be added to the building. Going through this project, staff concluded that it does comply with code. We found no issues, and what we did find, the applicants were more than willing to help us accommodate that. As mentioned before, there was some items with fire, but they addressed those issues, and fire is comfortable with the plan as well. I just wanted to mention a few more interesting facts that I haven't mentioned yet, but The addition will consist of 6 hearing rooms, offices, court administration offices, and a relocated clerk's office space. Conciliation Court Services will be relocated from their current facility in Coolidge to this new addition in order to better serve clients. So if you have any questions for staff, I'd be happy to answer them. The applicant is here. They can answer any questions you may have as well.
Okay. I don't have anything, it's pretty straightforward.
You're good.
I'm good, yes.
All right, I have a couple of questions. Let's start with traffic. If you are coming into or leaving Florence at the right time, you can see that employees coming into the courthouse are backing up on 79 because the entrance into the courthouse cannot funnel the traffic into the parking areas fast enough. Has there been any consideration to relieve that?
Larry Smith with DLR Group. Back when the original study was done and the planning for that, that was looked at that time for the overall traffic in that area. What we are adding to at this time is additional 50 staff that would be working in the building.
Right.
And again, they're not all there at that time. And with the staggered load for the courts, we felt that it wasn't necessary to do any additional improvements in that regard. We do have deceleration lanes that was added back at the original project for northbound, as well as there's left turn lanes. There is the additional 2 access points on Jason Lopez, the one of course for the circle on the north that a lot of people seem to pull into to help alleviate that situation when it does get backed up at times.
All right, well, the south entrance is not working, something to keep in mind.
Okay.
Because they funnel back, and you'll have, I've seen 6 to 8 cars stuck in the left turn lane, waiting to get in. They have the opportunity, the gap in traffic is there to make the left turn, but they can't because the entrance is backed up. They're not funneling into the parking lots. So something to consider.
Very good. We will do that.
Looking at your design review, first let me preface this by saying there is no ordinance that I'm aware of in the town of Florence that requires solar panels. But I was interested, or I noted during my review, that I did not see solar panels on the roof of this design. Was there any consideration given to that?
Specifically solar panels, no. We are going through the process of changing the lighting out, LED in a lot of in the building. So there's a lot of energy reduction design aspects that are going into the facility, but specifically for photovoltaic or any solar, no, not at this time with the program that we have.
Okay. This design review that's been presented to us tonight, has this been approved by the county supervisors?
The concept and the program has been approved in the budget. There was a study that we completed last year. So the basic concept of adding the 40,000 square feet and the budget for that, yes.
Good, so that's both approved, and I do not anticipate any significant changes done by the county.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that answers all my questions.
Thank you.
I don't trust the county. All right, I'll make the motion. I move that we approve County Courthouse Expansion Design Review PZ 1564 DR with the following condition: that any major change or any change to the design review by the county considered major by Florence Planning and Zoning Director will void this approval. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
County Courthouse Expansion Design Review is approved. Moving along, staff report, Community Plan Boards and Commissions Conference update. Mr. Olgin.
Chair, Vice Chair, Commission. You've all probably seen the flyer that we sent to you all.
Nope.
Well, it was sent to the commissioners, so I'll make sure that we try again. It's a Board of Commissions conference. It's a one-day conference. It's in December, December 4th. It's a Friday, and it's from 8 to 4. These are really good for those of you who've never gone before. It's a great opportunity for you to network with other commissioners, kind of see how other towns and cities run their commissions, boards. So the offer was put out to, we've invited all commission members, historic district as well. We've had a couple of people that do want to go. So if you're interested tonight, let us know. We'll put you on the list. We will pay for the class and provide a town vehicle if you wish to carpool. And once again, staff has taken these classes before, and they're very informative. I always get a lot of information from these. So, and that concludes my staff report.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Item 7, call to the public, commission response. Call to the public for public comment on jurisdiction of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Individual commission members may respond to criticisms made, may ask staff to review a matter raised, or may ask that that matter be put on a future agenda. However, members of the commission shall not discuss or take action on any matter during an open call to the public unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion and legal action. Nobody home.
Takes care of the lawyers.
Yeah. And I'll close the call to the public. Call to the commission, current events only. Gentlemen, do you have any current events?
I don't have anything.
I don't have anything either. May I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn this evening's meeting at 6:28.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? We are adjourned.